Good morning, everyone. How are we all doing today? First things first, let me check the audio. And it sounds good. It sounds nice. See what happens when you don't get the baby on the screen taking all of the memories and things. Anyway, for those of you who don't know, when we start the show, occasionally we get audio bugs. It doesn't seem like it's there, so we'll continue. Nice. How are we all doing today? Happy Tuesday. Welcome in to twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads for what would usually be The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast, even if we do say so ourselves. However, today is not a scoop. There isn't two of us. There is no Bibby. He is currently on his way to a golf course, I imagine, with his club in his hand and his golf sticks as well. Obviously, yeah, okay. So this is a one-man dollop. Not a scoop, but a dollop. So hopefully you guys will help me get through this. So basically what happens, if you are new here, what happens is we go live. We pick 4 or 5 stories from the world of video games over the last 24 hours to discuss for an hour or so. It's usually about an hour and 20 minutes. Ish. Anyway, so we run through those stories. I read through the stories. We ask Bibby's thoughts. We throw in my thoughts, and we get your thoughts. And that's kind of how it works. However, we don't have Bibby, so that it gives me a bunch of problems because I can't do the stealthy sort of like typing, adding bits to the screen whilst Bibby gives his thoughts and impressions. So you will have to kind of like sit and watch me do that. But yeah, hopefully you'll help me fill in the gaps. Anyway, if you're in the chat, please do feel free to get involved over the course of the next hour or so. Just looking at the chat. Chelsea! Hey! Oh, hi! Do you know what, Chelsea? I am gutted because I played about 4 or 5 games of There you go. It was in your game last night. Played about 4 or 5 games of PUBG last night, and I got down to final 5-ish. I was level 3'd out. I think I had an AUG. Can't remember what it was. And I saw your name in the kill feed. It was like the final 5 people or something like that. And I thought, oh, me and Chelsea are going to get a shootout. But I fluffed my shot. I absolutely hit a guy down to about, 15 HP. But fluffed my shot, so we didn't get to shoot out. But one day soon, maybe. Lake, good morning, Lake. How's things, dude? Good morning, Mr. Gargad as well. Good morning, gents. I'm assuming that's me and everyone else in the room as opposed to Bib, because we have no Bib. We are Bibless. Chappers says, oh, hello. That's how Bibby says the emote, by the way. We do have exclusive emotes, as you can see, freshly used by Chappers and Lake in the chat. That one does have an audible cue when Bibby's in the room, but he's not in the room, so we'll have to save that one. ODSD King says Golf Course Life. This is my work account, by the way. This is your work account? I don't know who it is. Who would it be? What's your normal account? I don't know. It's Jordan. There you go. Welcome in, Jordan. Welcome in. I was like, who is this? If you don't tell me who it is, I'll read. A dollop of Graham Day. I'll take that. There you go. You get a one-man dollop all over your faces for the next hour. It's not like that. Calm down. Although that's exactly what I was saying before. I knew what I was saying. Anyway, so my name is Graham Day, and we have no Bib. So I am representing Ice Cream Uploads as a one-man band today, but you guys can fill in the blanks. Anyway, in true ice creamy fashion, this is the Scoop or the Dollop, and it's the UK's #1 video game podcast. Even if we do say so ourselves, and the reason we call it the UK's #1 video game podcast is because we give you my thoughts and impressions on the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories in the world of video games. And I want your thoughts and impressions on my thoughts and its impressions. Thoughts and its impressions? Nice. You know what I mean. I know what I mean. Nice. Okay, continue. Anyway, I want your thoughts and impressions on my thoughts and impressions. It's important that you do give me those thoughts and impressions. I think I could say that a couple more times. I probably will do. Anyway, we go live each and every single weekday at twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads at 10 a.m. ish. It's 9 minutes past 11. In fairness, I had to do quite a lot of things on my own today, so that's fine. Anyway, we go live at 10 a.m.-ish. We have an emote for that, each and every single weekday. And if you're in the chat, please feel free to drop in with those thoughts and impressions, because we turn this live stream into a podcast, a YouTube video, and an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play. So please feel free to get involved on behalf of everyone watching and listening on demand a little bit later on. Before we jump into the show, though, quick reminder, there's only 6 days left. Ooh, time for a bong. I don't know, it's a bit early, but thank you very much for the follow. There's only 6 days left of this month's subscriber giveaway. So we do give back to our subs as a way to say thank you for keeping us supported. So whether it's a paid sub or a Prime Gaming sub, whichever one, if you're a sub, make sure you're in our Discord and your accounts linked, because if you don't link your accounts, you're missing out on the chance to win prizes every month you're a sub. This month's prize is a copy of Valheim or another game of your choice if that's not what you're interested in. ! Loot drop in the chat will give you those deets. Nice. What is happening, G-Man, says Degnan? Well, basically, we've all been sat here waiting for you to come back. Literally months we've been sat here, but I'll read. Wagwan. Mr. Gallic Clark with the lurk early doors. Someone's got work calls or something this morning. Good morning, Mr. Gallic Clark. That ODST King bloke looks sus. Who this? Graham, do you want me to sort him out? Absolutely. Give it to Banhammer. Bow. Bro, you missed me too much, chappers. Oh, no way I can stealth watch on Twitch. And Jordan's lurking as well. Everyone with the lurks, nice. If you win, get It Takes Two, play with a friend for free. So good. I mean, that is something that we definitely are going to go through. I was kind of trying to figure it out because I'm seeing reports that It Takes Two is about 12 to 16 hours. Is that right? I know A Way Out was about 6-7 hours, which was perfect because we had 2 streams on Insert Coin. By the way, ! Insert Coin, if you don't know. Me and Bibby are part of the Coin Army, the Insert Coin stream team. Streamer family, let's put it that way. So we stream on official Insert Coin every 6 weeks or so. So we had 2 streams and we played A Way Out Part 1 and Part 2. Not that the game's in 2 parts, but we split into 2 parts. So that fit nicely into 2 streams. But I'm hearing It Takes Two is like 12 to 16 hours, which that's kind of like 3 to 4 streams. Maybe 5, 6 even at that sort of length. So, yeah, I'm not sure if I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that's something that we can play on the next Insert Coin streams, but it's definitely something that we're going to play. I'm just hearing nothing but positivity around it. What I'm hearing, I mean, I've not wanted to look into A Way Out much. The scores were like 90s in Metacritic, or it was hitting an average of 90 last week when I saw it. I don't know if it's gone up or down since then. And the general gist is, if you liked A Way Out, you will like It Takes Two. It Takes Two is better than A Way Out because it has... How can we put it? A Way Out was almost like the egg to make the omelette. That was the egg that got not cracked, but like it was the learning process, and then It Takes Two is so much better. But design and style wise and story from the outside, without getting fully in it, I would say A Way Out is kind of more where I'd want to be playing a game, whereas It Takes Two looks like more like something I'd give a try and then probably enjoy it. So if you just switch it around, get it the other way around, and make that one first. But anyway, it is what it is. We're definitely going to play it. So yeah, if you do win this month's loot drop and you get yourself a free game, that's definitely one to look into. I don't do Twitch, but I appreciate the thought. Well, you're here, so you do Twitch. But yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, about right. Gary and I are about 7 hours in. It's incredible. We'll be up there as Game of the Year contender if it continues like this. You and Bib will definitely love it. It takes what A Way Out did and ramps up the co-op genius. It's highest Game of the Year so far or something. Did we report on that? I know that we had an article. I don't know if we actually did report on it, but yes, highest rated Game of the Year so far. So GG's to the A Way Out team. Here's like, you do this. It Takes Two is absolutely incredible. It's going to take a lot to knock it off my top spot for Game of the Year. And that's what you like to see. Do you know what I would like to see? This is me getting into the news, by the way. Getting prepped. Nice. Nice. Do you know what I would like to see? I mean, I would like to see It Takes Two, but I would like to see some games industry events, but sadly that might not be the case, at least not everywhere. We've already had confirmation that Gamescom is planning to go ahead with a hybrid event. If you didn't catch that news story, it was either early last week or the end of the week before, Gamescom announced that they will be having a hybrid event in August. So they will have the physical event, which got cancelled last year, and they will partner that with an online event. So developers and industry people can still go to the event digitally, but some people will be able to go to the event physically. At that point in time, we kind of expressed concerns that is that really going to be possible? is it still a bit too soon? And it looks like it may just be the case, not necessarily for Gamescom, but for PAX at least. That does come sooner than Gamescom, though. So let's jump into this news by Don Peppiatt at VG247. And he says, PAX East 2021 cancelled. PAX Online coming instead in July. Penny Arcade and Red Pop have announced that PAX East 2021 has been cancelled, but the event is going to be replaced by PAX Online, which will take place in July. Though we're seeing some other conventions hold out announcing cancellations or delays until the final hour, it looks like PAX East organisers want to give you as much of a heads up as possible regarding its plans for the year. PAX East, which was originally due to take place from June the 3rd until June the 6th, has been cancelled. Quote, as we have shown via our actions throughout the pandemic, our utmost concern is the safety of the PAX family, from attendees, exhibitors, and show staff to media and content creators, as well as the local communities that host our celebrations of all things gaming, says the organizer. We will only move forward with a live PAX once we are confident that the show will be safe for everyone. On the upside, plans for a physical in-person event are being redesigned, and an online event will take PAX East's place. Quote, since we can't wait until September to reconnect with the wonderful PAX community, PAX Online will return July the 15th to the 18th, the statement continues. This follows the success the company saw in last year's digital-only PAX Online. Quote, we hope to build on the success of last year's record-breaking event and also engage with our community in new ways, such as the Indie Showcase that will take place between now and PAX Online. Expect more news about these plans soon. If you're eager to get amongst the crowds and visit an expo in person again this year, fret not. Show organisers are cautiously optimistic PAX West and PAX Unplugged 2021 will proceed as planned from September the 3rd to the 6th and December the 10th to the 12th, respectively. It says elsewhere in the statement, PAX plans to bring the gaming community together virtually with a number of online get-togethers this spring and summer, leading up to this year's PAX Online. PAX East will return to Boston in 2022, apparently, so cross your fingers if you fancy attending PAX East next year, too, because the organizer is trying to make that happen. Thank you very much to Don Peppiatt at VG247 for the news. So, Bib, what are your thoughts? Oh, wait, no, he's not here. Graham, what are your thoughts? PAX East cancelled, and there will be a PAX Online instead. Okay, I'll give you my thoughts. I will give you my thoughts, but I want your thoughts. What do you feel about this? Is it the right move? Should we jumping back into normality? Should we be jumping back into normality? Should events start taking place now? Is it too soon? Should we not be mingling and mixing in large numbers at this point in time? I mean, just a couple of days ago, we've been told social distancing. In the UK, it's like, okay, still social distancing, but you can do a little bit more stuff now. Is that, are we just learning to walk? Is it too soon to be thinking about running? Or what do you guys think? What do you guys think? I hear PAX and I think of PAX because of all the EA news. Sacrilegious. Do you know what? I'm clearly a northern man, because I hear PAX and I instantly think of gravy and things like that because of Paxo, which says a lot about me and my food and my eating habits and stuff. But yes, my opinions are that, you know what, GG PAX East, GG. It's easy to want to get back to normal. I mean, everyone wants to get back to normal, but it's easy to want it too much, to force things through. And if I'm being honest, if I was to compare Gamescom and PAX, like who's got the right message, Gamescom is months later. So PAX is June, Gamescom is August. You get all of June and all of July and the majority of August before we get to Gamescom. 2.5 months later, a lot can happen, a lot can change in 2.5 months, for the good or for the bad. But even still, hearing Gamescom's messages about they're planning the hybrid event, they are looking to have people at the event. Having been to Gamescom, that just sounds like an absolute catastrophe to me. If anyone's ever been to Gamescom, you basically have the closest I've seen in the UK to going to the Cologne Messe in Cologne is the NEC. You have multiple different halls. Apart from the NEC is kind of a little bit more well, it's tiny in comparison. I don't know if it is. It seems it to me anyway. There's a few different holes that are spread out that you kind of have to leave, or it feels like you're leaving and going outside. Whereas the Colnessa is just basically huge boulevards that just seem to go on for miles, and then off of these boulevards there are huge halls, and I think there's like 11 or 12 different halls, maybe even more. Massive spaces up. Some have upstairs, some have downstairs as well. Some are just massive from the ground, big high spaces. Anyway, ridiculous sized place, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people in this space. I just, the idea of, you're not going to get hundreds of thousands of people in that space, so what are you going to put in that space? What is Gamescom going to look like if that goes ahead this year? The numbers are going to have to be massively cut. If you cut the footfall, you take all of the people away from that, then that means you're going to have these towering stands, the big green wall of Xbox, the big blue PlayStation stuff. That's if they go to Gamescom. And then you've got the likes of the EA brands, the FIFAs, and usually there's like a fighter jet, an X-Wing from Star Wars, or a TIE fighter kind of thing if they have a Star Wars game, and then maybe some cars if there's a Need for Speed game. Are they going to put all of that time and effort and money into putting these things into those events if those 300,000 people that attend Gamescom become 30,000 people? That's 10,000 people a day. I don't know if these are the actual numbers. This is me just obviously picking 10% off. 10,000 people a day spread out over 3 public days. 10,000 people isn't a lot when you spread it across such a wide space. Is that going to be something that publishers and developers are going to want to go to? I'm not convinced. So the idea of the hybrid event having the online element, wonderful. But I don't like the fact that it's hybrid, because just give me the online event. So I fully agree with PAX's messaging in this. Maybe the guys at Gamescom have projected things a little bit better than I have. I'm thinking by June we're still going to have issues. So PAXed, nice. PAX is right to close their doors to the public at this point. I think keep it online, keep everyone safe, and move forward with an eye on next year. That's the best plan for me. I would stretch that to August and past August, September, October, November, maybe even to the end of the year. I can still see the potential for issues, particularly while we're having conversations around should certain vaccines be used, should not. There's spiking rates in different areas of the world and so on. I just feel it's a little bit too soon. So do you know what? I fully agree with PAX. It seems like it's the logical decision, the safest decision, and I'm fully behind that. Well done. Gary says this makes perfect sense right now. Later on this year is much more manageable because most people will be vaccinated by then. Mr. T says really shouldn't be any events, mass in-person ones anyway, until 2022. I hear PAX and I think of peace, Latin derivation, because I is cultured. Ooh! Check you out, Gagad. That's the Latin, actually, I think you'll find. So yeah, if I was going for peas, I would go for peas with my Paxo gravy. Nice. Now, if I was thinking of peace, I would say Paz, which is a Metal Gear reference, because there was a character called Paz who first appeared in Peace Walker, and that was the whole theme of that. Peace, Paz. There you go. Which I'm assuming comes from the Latin derivation. That word, the Latin word. I think I'm still holding out hope that I can get to a gig before the end of the year, but madly agree that it probably shouldn't. Says Chappers. I mean, we'd all love the idea. Just all of the things that we've missed last year, this year, like festivals. I mean, be that the downloads, be that the Reading and Leeds festivals, be that whatever. Just the idea of being able to go to all that, I would love that. Even without that scale, I love the idea of just being able to stroll into Manchester. And I'm still eating very, very good food. You can tell because my size keeps increasing. And I usually post pictures. Well, I often post pictures if I remember. But living so close to Manchester, I have so much food to choose from, and there's a lot of street food in Manchester. So we've still been able to walk in, keep socially distanced, get food, and not worry about the sitting in or anything like that. Just curbside pickup sort of stuff. But there's just the idea of wanting to just be able to just go down and sit there, like having I'm gonna not put a hoodie on, or I'm not gonna put a hat on. I'm gonna do my hair and wear a shirt. Yeah, I know, an actual shirt, and I'm gonna sit at a table, and have something alcoholic in a glass whilst eating something finer than a big hand kebab that I pick up in Manchester. By the way, went into Manchester the other day, and there's a place on Deansgate that does gyros, gyros, Greek kebabs. Basically, I think I mentioned this the other day. It was a chicken kebab. Yeah, I won't go into too much detail. I think I definitely did. Anyway, chicken kebab with chips in it, world class, exceptional. But whilst that is nice, sometimes you just want to be able to just go and sit down and do something a little bit nicer. Take just Danielle out, or me, Danielle, and Chloe, and go into somewhere and sit. The idea of that, love it. But I don't want it too soon, because if that happens too soon, then the last 11 months are all pointless. And I'm kind of worried that maybe Gamescom is pushing it too soon. PAX isn't taking any chances. And I, as shit as that is, I'm fully on board with it, because the last 11 months have been shit, and I don't want it to be for nothing. So, yeah, I'm fully on board. Mr. T says, while the pandemic is better in a few places, still not good places like... Still not in a good place in many places like Europe and North America. Brazil, I keep seeing articles about how Brazil is like hugely spiking. I haven't fully read into it, so I won't go into too much detail, because I could full on be getting the wrong end of the stick. But it was kind of like, the gist that I got was that even in the age rates that you'd kind of expect people to get ill, but not always die. At my age rates, we got COVID last December and we recovered. Everything's kind of fine now. That's not necessarily the case as frequently in Brazil. I don't know whether that's because there just isn't enough. Say if it's the favela kind of regions that have been impacted, you don't necessarily have the free access to as much food with nutritional value or water or healthcare that you should have. So yeah, anyway, parts of the world definitely getting hit by it massively. Gamescom would be a breeding ground for COVID. It is insane how many people they can squash into the coolness and still adhere to health and safety, or just ignore health and safety. It's probably the latter. But I mean, it's not going to be at that scale, but even still, and there's huge air conditioning events and so on to make sure that many people can survive in that sort of space. That's just recirculating it. It's just, it's not for me. Even if Gamescom definitely goes ahead this year, we've attended every Gamescom for the past however long. I would not be going to Gamescom this year. It just doesn't feel good. I mean, I say that, maybe something could change around that, but right now, no, it's not going to happen. Mr. T says, I feel you. The weekend gig I was supposed to go in 2020 now moved to 2022. Sucks, but I'm happy. Good decision, safe decision. I mean, the thing is, though, I mean, that's not bad. That's not bad, because I mean, you've been away from gigs and stuff for so long. Once you get into that, and they've got all the pyrotechnics. I mean, talk about blinding lights. It's a weekend. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll take it back. I don't. I apologise to nothing. For nothing to no one. There you go. Mr. T says, I guess limited capacity is okay, but the logistics and rules would need to be on point to avoid outbreaks. Yeah, exactly. I just worry though. Is it crowd mentality? And yeah, we'll see. I've had a pushed back Enter Shikari show that's at December 2nd this year, a day before my birthday. Just want to mention that, just in case you forgot. Graham Day's birthday, December 3rd. I mean, I will remind you about 4 weeks in advance every single day. Don't worry. Nice. It might get moved back a bit, though, but end of this year might be reachable. Mr. T says, people likely to go to these events are between the teen to 40 age range, the ones that have not been vaccinated yet and probably won't be until the end of 2021. That's where the logic of no big mass events from my side comes in. I agree. As a professional that works in the games industry, as a half-assed content creator that does bits of Twitch content on the side, I am very likely to be the kind of person that's targeted to go to these events. I say targeted, not like they come and pick you off. You will go to Gamescom. I mean, I attend Gamescom for many different reasons. Most of the time, it's just to meet Asim and get some hot dogs and stuff. But you know, apart from that, there's actual work that's to be done. So we usually attend Gamescom. So that's me. I haven't been targeted for a vaccine yet. I haven't had one yet. So yeah, I'm someone that's Gamescom age range. 2, hasn't had a vaccine. And 3, is clearly open to the potential of getting COVID. Because despite the fact that we have 1,000 a month face masks in the house, despite the fact that we don't go anywhere and our birthdays and Valentine's Days and Christmas and everything have been stripped back, despite others fecking running off and doing everything they want around the world, despite us taking all those necessary precautions, we still got COVID. So as someone that's protecting themselves, but still potentially open to COVID and hasn't had a vaccine and needs to kind of go to these events, it just shows you that it's still, for me, not safe yet. I agree with Asim. Not this year. Yeah, that makes sense. At the end of the year might be different, but by that point, they might as well just wait until next year. Exactly. 2022 sounds like a better aim for concerts and events. So like, this is where we get mixed messages. I mean, my blinding lights pun. Instantly we get Mr. C saying love it, and Asim saying get out. No, the other way around. Gary saying get out. Sorry, my bad. So yeah, Asim loves it. Gary says get out. I mean, you're gonna have to fight it amongst yourselves. I mean, God. David, good morning, says it doesn't help the fact that the former president, the annoying Orange, was slow to enact social distancing, so the American vaccination program is going to be behind for a while because of being overloaded by the excess of people. I mean, there's so many different stories on that. There was a story the other day about the French government apologizing for not being quick to do to start on their vaccination program in terms of they weren't looking to develop vaccines. And I don't know if it was complacency, they didn't think it was going to work, they thought it was going to be rushed, or whatever the reasoning was, they were behind and they apologized for it, which was a politician apologizing? Wow. And obviously we can't talk, we're in the UK, we've been behind on most things other than vaccine creation. And we're probably, if we're being honest, only on the front foot when it comes to vaccine creation, because there's money to be made there. If you can get your friends in big pharmaceutical businesses to make vaccines and earn bajillions, then absolutely you want to get them cracking on it. So yeah, I mean, shock horror, Tories, okay, I'm getting very political. Let's just say government rather than branding the Tories. Government slow to react until it's profitable. Surprise, surprise. Anyway, I've had the vaccine, but they are now saying the Oxford one isn't as good as they originally thought for under 55s. Cheers, Boris. I mean, everything's perfectly fine, though, with Gary, apart from that extra arm that is now growing out of his neck. Everything else is fine. So, yeah, if you're under 55 and you don't want an extra arm growing out your neck, then, yeah, okay. By the way, that's fake news, by the way. That's not actually real. Just want to point that out. Classic French, that. Always on the back foot. Look at their forces in World War II. Whoa, lads. So, anyway, that's the lead story of the day. PAX East physical event for 2021 has been cancelled. The event will still go ahead, although in an online capacity. So rather than taking place physically in June, it will be online in July, which is nice for me. It means that we can all stay at home. We don't have to worry about airports. We don't have to worry about planes. We don't have to worry about traveling to these different countries around the world. I mean, then what if one country's bad, or your country's bad, or whatever? You're going to have to do the whole 2 weeks in quarantine at their end and or coming back or whatever. We don't have to worry about all that. We can all just start to enjoy the little bit of sunshine that we'll get for about a cumulative 60 to 70 minutes across the summer in the UK. I'm saying that, it's actually pretty nice outside today. 21 degrees in Manchester today. Nice. So we can all stay, enjoy the sunshine. Maybe a socially distanced beer garden, pint and a burger, and then come back home and just watch the PAX stuff online. Nice. There we go. We'll take that. Speak for yourself about an extra arm. I mean, yeah, Degnan's got an extra leg. That's not a leg. Easy, Tiger. It's not that sort of show. An extra arm could have its advantages. It's not that sort of show either. Honestly. Anyway, let's move ahead. So we've gone for something pretty serious. Let's get incredibly serious now. So yesterday we had a story. It's not serious, by the way, at all. Yesterday we had the lead story was Battlefield 6. And it was a pretty good story. We managed to speak about Battlefield and team play, and then bridging into Call of Duty and using Fortnite and bringing in the mechanics of FPS's games over the last 10 to 15 years. So we spent about 50 minutes talking about the effects that Battlefield coming back to the Battlefield could have on video games, FPS video games. And the rumors off the back of that were that Battlefield is looking at potentially being a free-to-play game, is looking at battle pass mechanics, and EA potentially, if not unrolling that for this time, could be looking at that something that they jump on for the future. So we then had a huge different conversation that split off into free-to-play and the future of video games and monetization and all that. So anyway, we spoke about it for a long time. Huge in-depth conversations, which is quite ironic when you see how EA responded to that. Oh, no, that's the discussing now from the last article. This is the article written by Sean Murray at The Gamer. It says, EA mocks Battlefield leak by comparing it to spaghetti. Genuinely, I read that title, I was like, what? It just... Yeah, it doesn't really make any sense, but let's go. EA bizarrely mocked a Battlefield leak on Twitter by comparing it to spaghetti for some reason. I mean, that kind of explains itself. If the description just says for some reason, then I think you kind of realize that you're not really going anywhere. Anyway, let's jump in. Battlefield 6 is starting to make some buzz thanks to a recent survey from EA that asked Battlefield players if they liked Call of Duty Warzone. Well, the survey didn't specifically mention Warzone, but it did ask about free-to-play Battle Royale modes with tons of people and a Battle Pass, so I guess it could have been referring to Apex Legends or something. Besides the survey, rumours are starting to pop online about what to expect in Battlefield 6. According to 4news.it, chief editor Roberto Serrano, Battlefield 6 will be about, quote, modern warfare, have multiplayer modes for 16 to 128 players, and indeed will have a free-to-play Battle Royale component that will launch in early 2022. The single-player game itself, simply titled Battlefield, will apparently arrive this fall on PC, PS5 and Xbox Series X. Serrano's tweet seems to jive with other rumours that have sprung up over the weekend. More on that in a minute. But for some reason, the official Battlefield Twitter account responded to Serrano with a truly bizarre comparison to spaghetti. Serrano's tweet rattled off a list of rumours surrounding Battlefield 6. So the Battlefield Twitter account responded with a list of, quote, facts regarding spaghetti. These included tidbits such as noodly, slippy, good with sauce, good with garlic bread, and is spaghetti. Perhaps this is making light of Serrano being Italian, but either way, it's kind of weird. So there you go. There is the tweet. Let's scroll down, actually, to give context. So this is Roberto Serrano. Hashtag Battlefield. So these are the facts that he says are in the picture of Battlefield Modern Warfare, large-scale close quarters battles, 16 to 128 players, Battle Royale, free-to-play early 2022, soldiers, weapons, vehicles, customization, next level, blah, blah, blah. You can see it all there. So copying that almost ad nauseum, EA responds with their quote tweet that says, hashtag spaghetti. Noodly, slippy, good with sauce, good with garlic bread, is spaghetti, can be used as decoration, always available, also available as pasta, and then spaghetti in the Battlefield styling. Why? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Anyway, back into the article. And besides, Serrano isn't alone in reporting on the upcoming Battlefield game. VGC quotes influencer Tom Henderson for posting several factoids about DICE's upcoming military shooter, starting with a confirmation on the chosen name. Set 10 years in the future, Battlefield will feature advanced robots. Okay, I'm already starting to lose my interest. The use of the word advanced. So advanced robots, drones, jets, choppers, and tanks in a co-op capable campaign that lets that lets the player swap sides to see the war from either the American or Russian sides. Quotes, the campaign will focus on you and your specialist unit, Henderson wrote, where you'll be able to choose which superpower you fight for, end quote. In this case, fictional future war, China apparently is staying out of this Cold War reboot. So EA mocks the Battlefield leak by comparing it to spaghetti. Okay, anyone got any idea what is happening? That is bizarre. Anyway, bear with me 1 second while I get the discussing now slate on screen. I mean, I've seen lots of ways of interacting with rumours or not. Usually it's the not, but sometimes brands can interact with rumours. EA, no, Battlefield. EA compare it to spaghetti. Is that going to fit? Is that going to fit? It's a little bit over, but it'll do. I'm wearing a white hoodie. You can't quite tell. That's fine. We'll leave it there. Nice. So yeah, when it comes to rumors, usually brands have one sort of response to it. We do not comment on rumor and speculation. How that is actually delivered can vary. So if you don't comment on rumor and speculation, you can not say anything, or you can comment to say that you don't comment. That's kind of it. Sometimes you can go, "Oh, man, that's bullshit," but it's the same sort of thing. So comparing it to spaghetti, that's a completely new way for me. I've not seen it. Spaghetti? Have EA been smoking the devil's lettuce? Maybe. Spaghetti does go well with garlic bread, in fairness, says Degner. I mean, facts. Absolute factoid, to be fair. Fucking love a spaghetti bolognese. Nice bit of garlic bread, parmesan cheese, black pepper. Oh, yes, please. Link, please, says Lake. Let me drop you the link. So this is the link. This is written by Sean Murray at the game, and there's the link in the chat. Have a read for yourself. But yes, within that is the embedded tweet. I will share you the link for that too. That's a big old leak. Let me. There we go. Link. Boom. There is the Battlefield link. Quote tweeting it. Just don't understand. It's interesting. Until mention of a war set in the future, I'd have suggested a really obtuse reference to the North Africa campaign and Italy campaign in World War II. Xbox has come out and said the rumours regarding more games coming to Game Pass is Dolmio. Oh no! Meanwhile, Uncle Ben is currently putting together a press release. Actually, does Uncle Ben do pasta stuff? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. It could be. I mean, Madge is saying Italy is a reference for the campaign being in Italy. I mean, Battlefield has always been like modern slash. I mean, I say slash futuristic. Drones aren't futuristic. Drones are now, which is all fine in that sort of sense. I mean, I suppose they are, but it's just that it says Battlefield will feature advanced robots and drones. That's where it starts to lose my attention then. Anything that mentions advanced robots and drones and things like that, I instantly start thinking of that horrendous period where Call of Duty got some of the most downvoted videos in history because of the quality of the content. If Battlefield delivers that horrendous Call of Duty stuff in a Battlefield situation, it's not going to get my attention. Yesterday we spoke about how good Battlefield is when it's good. That is not what I want from a Battlefield game. That said, just because it's not what I want, it might not be what it might be what you guys want. But what I definitely don't want is just random comments about spaghetti. It's absolutely bizarre. The thing is though, someone had to imagine the conversations regarding that. So this is the tweet that EA put out. Obviously, spaghetti, noodly. I mean, putting the word noodly in a tweet and slippy as the first, like, spaghetti, noodly, and slippy are the first three words in response to leaks. And then anyways like that. Someone had to, there was a discussion about what this tweet, how they should respond to it, what they should do. This has gone through layers of questioning. At least even, I say layers, it could just be internal team in-team questioning. So the social guys could just self-adjudicate and go, yeah, that'll do. Let's go with that. Nice, bomb. Put it out, depending on how they work. So there's some sort of conversation on this, and still, just, what? I don't know. Honestly, I think it's a roundabout way of saying how stupid these leaks sound. Also, hello, says Madge. Hello, welcome in. If they go full-on future, then a sequel to Battlefield 2142 or whatever the futuristic game was called. I'd love to have been a fly on the wall in that meeting. No, I think Degnan is probably right. It is kind of a here's something else that's stupid kind of thing, but it just it's just I wouldn't expect that from the Battlefield Twitter account. I think that's the issue with me. It's the jarriness of the who's saying it and where. That it's like when you hear senators. There was something in the build up to the election. I don't know why that didn't actually come up. I don't know if it came up on stream, by the way, but Scuds TV, thank you very much for the follow. 29 minutes ago, appreciate it. I don't know if you're still here. We did get the time for a bong follow. I don't know if the Scuds follow came up or not, but it's not on my mini feed in Streamlabs, but it is in the back end of Twitch. So I appreciate it, mate. Thank you very much. Yeah, as Mad says, yeah, facetious tweet, basically. Exactly, but there was a thing in the build up to the election last year where some senator or someone of that ilk basically said that he stands someone else, and everyone's like, why is like a 70-year-old white dude using the word stan on Twitter? What is this? I can't remember who he was talking about. So let's go Colonel Sanders. I'm a Colonel Sanders stan. And it's like, why are you saying this? Are you just trying to be cool? Are you trying to fit in? Not that Battlefield isn't cool and doesn't fit in, but it's the jarriness of that just. But anyway, it's fun. It's fun. There you go. Have it that way. I mean, if all brands deal with things like that, then that's good for me. Let's just go for it. Just make it the norm. It's the sort of shit Boris would say when being asked a serious question. So Boris, death rates are spiking once again. Millions of people have their health and lives at risk that didn't necessarily need to be. What is your response to that? Spaghetti. Oh, great, nice, yeah, lovely. No. They do say to test pasta, throw it at the wall, and if it sticks, so I wonder if that's what spaghetti thing is with all the guesses being thrown about. Ooh. I mean, if it is that, then GG's. GG's for going down that route and figuring out. Good to know I could get a job in social media going on that EA tweet. Absolutely. Anyway, let's move forward. Not too far, though. So yesterday we did start off speaking about Battlefield, and then we jumped into a conversation about Warzone and Modern Warfare. So why not change the habit of a lifetime? Let's stick with it. This time, though, there was a few different stories about Warzone. I didn't want to go through them all, so I just pulled one off because not easy, Tiger, not like that, not like that. I chose one story to focus on. Better words, because it ties into a conversation that we've been having for the last few months. And the last time we touched on this story, the gist of it was Call of Duty has massive downloads for Warzone and Modern Warfare, and at the last stage, you potentially couldn't play the game on PS4. If you wanted to have both bits installed, you couldn't fit it on a PS4. 500 gig standard hard drive. You had to get a 1 terabyte hard drive, an external hard drive, or something of that ilk. Basically, the 500 gig just wasn't enough to play it. We have a little bit of a resolution to that, Steady G, says Gary. Yeah, I pulled one off. Nice. So Tom Ivan at VGC says, Warzone and Modern Warfare file sizes will be cut significantly following a 50 gig update, which is quite ironic. Yeah, we're going to cut your file sizes down. You just need to download 50 gig. I don't have enough space for it all already. But Activision says, future patch sizes for the games are expected to be smaller. See, this is nice. I like this. We've been having conversations about whether developers are just kind of taking the file sizes and spaces for granted. They're just, it's 50 gig, whereas it could just be 7 gig if it was just made and optimized a little bit better. So this kind of makes me feel that Activision's got to the point where they have to optimize, because if you alienate all of PS4, you alienate the majority of your gamer base. Anyway, the Call of Duty Warzone and Modern Warfare file sizes will be significantly reduced following a new 50 gig update for the games. Following the update, which launches on March the 30th at 7 a.m. Actually, nope, March 31st at 7 a.m. UK time. It's March 30th, 11 p.m. PST time. So tomorrow morning, the Warzone file size will be cut by as much as 14.2 gig, and the Modern Warfare / Warzone file size will be slashed by as much as 33.6 gig, depending on the given platform. Quote, this will come after a larger than usual one-time update for Season 2 Reloaded, which will include these optimizations and is necessary in order to reduce the overall footprint. Future patch sizes for Modern Warfare and Warzone are expected to be smaller, Activision said. The update in question weighs in at 52 gig on PlayStation consoles, 57.8 gig on Xbox consoles, and 52.4 gig on PC for Warzone only, or 133.6 gig for Warzone and Modern Warfare on PC. After the update, Warzone and Modern Warfare file sizes will be reduced by the following amounts. So PS5 will be reduced by 10 gig for just Warzone only. We'll just stick with just Warzone only. PS4, 10 gig. Xbox Series X and S, 14 gig. And the same for the Xbox One. And the PC, 11 gig. Black Ops Cold War's mid-season update arrives tonight. Check out the launch times, file sizes, and patch notes here. I will drop the link to this article, so if you do want to see what's included in the latest Black Ops patch, then here is the original article that we're covering, and copy link, and there is the link to the patch notes for the latest Call of Duty stuff. Whatever is in it, if you are going to be playing it, you can expect things to start to get a little bit smaller. You have to feel that if Activision is focusing on increasing... No, actually, let's use a different word. If they're focusing on decreasing the size of the files in Warzone and Modern Warfare, if that's not already something they're working on for Black Ops, it's something that they will look into do the same thing for Black Ops anyway. You have to feel that, right? I've lost count at how many times I've had to delete stuff from my HDD on the PS5. I've spent more time in the storage options deleting stuff than actually playing games. See, I haven't. Let me just actually... Will this fit? I'm just going to do a straight copy. That's probably not going to fit. That's close enough. It's just about inside. If I put my face in the way, oh, it'll be fine. Yeah, I haven't had to do that, but only because there's not much that I'm trying to play at the moment. I've been obviously playing the likes of PUBG. PUBG Season Pass finishes tomorrow, I think, or today. Or Thursday, sometime in the next couple of days. So I haven't really been playing much PUBG because I've hit level 100, so I've been trying to play other things. So I'm just playing things that I have installed that I've never finished. So Spider-Man, I'm about 70% of the way through the story on that now. So I'll get through that, which then that can go, and then I'll play Miles Morales, and then that can go, and then that will free up space for other things. But because of having those games, I haven't had to really install anything. I don't know if I've got Warzone installed at the moment, probably not. So yeah, I've just been quite streamlined on what I'm playing. If, though, I was playing like I was 12 months ago, I absolutely would have done that. That 800 gig hard drive just wouldn't have been enough at all. My 1 terabyte hard drive for the PS4 wasn't enough, so an 800 gig one, no. But the sizes are there. Madge says, I'd like more explaining on the smaller. How much smaller, I ask. So, I mean, I did quickly run through them. You probably wrote that before I run through them, but I'll bring them back on screen again. So, after the update, Warzone and Modern Warfare sizes will be reduced by the following amounts. We'll just go for, like I said, just go for Warzone. I'll run over them again. PlayStation users will 10.9 gig will be the reduction. Xbox users 14.2 gig and PC 11.8 gigs saved. Is that really much of a saving though? Maybe I just don't understand. So, like, let's say. So yeah, this will come after a larger than usual one-time season update. So if you are giving someone an update, but then that update is larger than usual, is saving between 11 and 14 gig, is that much of a saving? It almost sounds like, okay, we're going to give you a larger update, so we're going to add 10 gig to the update. and then you can take 10 gig away at the end. It's kind of like, it's the same thing. I don't know. I don't understand. Maybe it's one of those updates that takes so much to download, but then when you install it, it chisels off some of it at the end. So the update is bigger now, but it will lose the excess and then the 10 gig maybe. I don't know. It just does not compute in my tiny little mind. I don't know. Madge says, I couldn't download and update a 1 gig patch with 7 gig free for a game. Deleted a few games in anger to get the patch working. That is infuriating for me. And I think that's something to do with, like, basically, for the dummies in the room, i.e. me, I believe that the 1 gig you download as like a zipped file, and then when you hit it and you essentially unpack it, it becomes larger. So the temporary space needed to unpack those files won't fit in that 7 gig that you've got. So you have to cut over it. But it's so infuriating though. because in your head you're being given numbers and they just don't work. It's just like, okay, I need 15 gig space and I've got this game that is 17 gig. Okay, well, let's just get rid of that. It's going to give me 2 gig to play with. And then it goes, no, you need to get rid of more. And it's like, you've literally just given me an itemized list of what I need. An itemized list, there was one item, but it's still fine. I know that I have a set rule to hit, and I've hit it, and you've just told me no anyway. What is? It's so infuriating. So infuriating. I mean, one thing that we will hopefully see over time is that the new hardware for PlayStation users, I don't know if it impacts Xbox users as much, means that we don't necessarily have those 100 gig downloads all the time. I mean, we're still downloading 50 gig, 30 gig, whatever at a time to be able to update Warzone, but 50 gig on this format would have probably been 150 gig last gen, so you don't have to download the full game. It's effectively, again, you can just download the snippets that you want for the code, which will help. The fact will be still can't use external the fact that you still can't use external SSDs on the PS5 isn't good. Why we have to wait for so long for that to be available is ridiculous. Is that coming with the? Actually, no, that is it. I was going to say, is that coming with the future update? But that is the SSD update. So it will be here in the summer. But yeah, still, the fact that we don't know which SSDs that would be, how much they're going to cost, because we don't know what they are, and exactly when that is coming is kind of. It feels like poor planning, really. Oh yeah, you can use SSDs, and we've got a port for it, but we've just not turned it on. We actually actively turned it off because it's not ready. And it's like, why? Why surely? Xbox has gone out and designed, commissioned, built, and sells a proprietary hard drive bespoke to their system, and they've managed to get that out. You will be using SSD, solid state drive. You will be using SSDs from the market. Why does that not work? If you were just using effectively an open source software, whereas Xbox has gone proprietary, why have they managed to get theirs out and you haven't got yours out? Doesn't kind of sit. Cool, John 10, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Good morning. How's your day going? Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Once again, shout out to Scuds TV and Time for a Bong. What a name. Thank you for the follows this morning. Appreciate it. If anyone is watching, feel free to drop a follow if you want. We do go live at 10 a.m. ish every day on twitch.tv/icecreamuploads, and we do play games most days. We will not be playing games today. If you're new here, we don't play games on a Tuesday because work things to do. But we do play bits of stuff. Sometimes we do play Warzone. Sometimes we play PUBG, PES, Fortnite, Resident Evil, Elder Scrolls, whatever we feel like. A bit of PGA. Nice. Yeah, it's poor planning. This should have been ready from day one. I agree. That SSD expansion is amongst... I mean, what a PS5 can do is pretty incredible. But just having the storage space to run that is kind of pretty basic in comparison. So the fact that that's not there does seem a little bit like a ball drop, but it is what it is. Anyway, let's move forward to start to wrap things up now. We've got a couple of nice stories to finish the day, and nothing too in-depth, nothing about coronavirus, nothing about spaghetti. Just a couple of nice little bits to wrap things up. So this one, a little bit left field, but looks pretty cool, if I'm going to be honest. So Matt Wales at Eurogamer says, turn a grim laundromat into a bustling 90s arcade in Vostok Inc. Dev's arcade paradise. Includes 35 plus playable games. That bit is particularly cool, but we'll come on to that. We'll explain that again, obviously, as we go through the article. Vostok Inc. developer Nosebleed Interactive is trading space capitalism for retro-tinged arcade management in its newly unveiled arcade paradise, coming to PC and consoles later this year. I'm going to hit play on the trailer in the article. In Arcade Paradise, players are cast as Ashley, a teenager trying to transform the family's small-town laundromat into a bustling retro arcade somewhere in the 1990s. What follows is a game of two halves. On the one side, Ashley will need to complete dull chores, washing clothes, clearing out the rubbish, cleaning toilets, all given by a suitably entertaining minigame twist, in order to raise the money needed to turn the King Wash laundromat into a booming arcade hangout, managing the business and investing profits along the way. scrolling. I'll try to keep the video on screen just in case you are still watching that. A proper storyline and sense of progression are promised as the arcade slowly blossoms. Doug Cockle, voice actor for Geralt of Rivia in the Witcher games, even pops up as Ashley's dad. But Arcade Paradise has another side too. All the arcade cabinets Ashley invests in, currently numbering 35 and counting, according to Nosebleed's Andreas Fernigel. There we go. Are fully playable games in their own right, all taking their cue from 3 decades of gaming, covering everything from early vector games to the 32-bit era, and all featuring their own gameplay, missions, and high score tables. It's even possible to play a number of them cooperatively or competitively with up to 4 local players. How cool is that? You can get a taste of Arcade Paradise's enthusiastic retro mimicry and rather more mundane aspects in the trailer above, which has just finished. And if you're eager to try your hand at arcade management, the game releases on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and Switch later this year. How cool does that look? How cool does that look? So you've got yourself a management sim. Okay, we've all built theme parks, we've all built theme hospitals and become roller coaster tycoons and all of the rest. Now we get to build an arcade. Okay, well that's pretty cool. Okay, you get to build an arcade, but we actually let me just put a title on the screen. So not only do you get to build the arcade, you get to be the management person. Let's just get Arcade Paradise. Was it just announced? Okay, I'm just going to put Arcade Paradise as discussing now. We'll leave it as that. We don't need to go into more detail on that. So not only do you get the management sort of theme, hospital theme park, roller coaster tycoon sort of stuff element to it, but you get a bit of narrative to it. You have to change from being a laundromat into an arcade. You have to buy stock. You've got a little bit of a story going along with that, including voice actors. Nice. Bit of Geralt in there with that. But the cool bit is when you put those arcade cabinets in your arcade setup, you could jump in. I mean, the bit that I noticed, because I haven't really watched the trailer, I've kind of like half paid attention to it. So it says 35. Yeah, I'll put the video back on screen. So look at that. Beat 'em ups. Is it like F-Zero-ish looking game? There was there you go, Bomberman. That was it. So you've got like all these looking games. I don't know if they're actually those games. It might be like Bomber Kid, or rather than F-Zero, it might be like S-Zero or S-Nothing. I don't know. But like those kind of having those as little things that you can play in it is such a cool little touch. So yeah. I will be reaching out to our friends at Wide Productions and seeing if we can get involved in this. But how cool is that? If I were coming in fresh to console gaming, I'd say without question that buying a PS5 over a new Xbox is a mistake. Microsoft are looking after my investment more, in my honest opinion. And do you know what? You absolutely nailed that there, Madge. If you are an established gamer, the chances are, I put my mic down too far, the chances are that you will be a PlayStation player rather than an Xbox player. When I say an established gamer, I mean a console gamer. The chances are you will be a PlayStation player rather than an Xbox. That might not be the case in here. That might be the case in here. But the numbers are the numbers. PlayStation outsells Xbox 2-1. So that PlayStation, the reason it sells out 2-1 is, well, there is reasons for that. It's down to the quality of games. It's the experience. It's the brand itself and so on. Okay, that's great. So experienced and previous gamers coming into the generation will be like, okay, PlayStation, that's it for me. But as Madge says, as someone that comes in afresh, if you are a blank slate and you don't have your back catalogue of 10 years of being a PlayStation user, you have to choose between blue or green. And blue is out now, but you can't expand the storage. And there's no Game Pass option. And all of the other jazz that Xbox has been adding recently. So all these new studios and new game announcements and exclusive bits come into it. And Outriders is a new game coming out, and you can play that free on Xbox Game Pass as well. And oh my god, okay, well I'll get an Xbox. Just makes absolutely all the sense in the world as a new player in gaming to just pick up an Xbox. It absolutely does. And you couple that with the fact that, I mean, I could have picked up on stories that this morning that we covered last week and the week before, and that is that the PS3 store, the PSP store and the PS Vita store are all being squashed. We spoke about that when they were first mentioned, but there was a new round of content on that that came out last night / this morning, confirming all that to be true. I didn't choose that for the news today because we've covered it previously. But if those are the headlines that PlayStation's hitting, oh, look at all the way that we've not supported last generations, or previous generations, not last. But then you've got Xbox going, okay, here's all the games from the past, and this is our plans for the future. Yeah, I fully agree, Madge. Xbox is firmly suited to be the brand to move forward with right now. Don't know if that. I mean, obviously, you then factor in the history that PlayStation has. That kind of makes it a little bit harder for Microsoft. And factor in the fact that PlayStation will have their own announcements at some point will make it harder. But yeah, as it stands, PlayStation have their work cut out for them. They have to go and do something to show that they aren't just a name. They are in the conversation for sure. Agreed. The PS5 will be incredible in a year or so, but right now, I'm not sure I'd recommend it, if I'm honest. I wouldn't not recommend it. Is how I would probably say it. It does everything that my PS4 did, apart from when I'm playing PUBG, I can use smoke grenades without my PS4 exploding and turn it into a ball of fire. Yay! So there is that. But also, the trade-off is I can use smoke grenades in PUBG, but I don't know how the party chat or anything works because of the horrendous UI. So god damn it. So there you are. But back to Arcade Paradise. That game does indeed look cool. Battlezone clones galore. Exactly. I mean, that's kind of what you want though from the Arcade Paradise kind of element. Because if not, this is from Wide Productions, obviously. A cool little brand. As a little brand, a cool dev/pub. I know a couple of guys who work for Wide Productions. Really good business. Usually make niche/indie/ breakout titles. Breakout's probably not the best word to use when talking about arcade games, because that was an arcade game. But when I say breakout, I mean games that break out of the niche and indie genre into a bit more mainstream. Wide are really good at doing that sort of stuff. So seeing them with this, it catches my attention. I like to see. I'd recommend a PlayStation 4 Pro or 5, but I'd recommend an Xbox more. Do you know what? I would potentially do the same. The only reason I won't do that is because I don't have an Xbox to recommend. I mean, I have an Xbox One S, but that is just my Twitch box. It's a box that I have on my Samsung Smart TV because Samsung doesn't have a Twitch app, whereas my LG one does. Great, GG's LG. GG LG. But yeah, PlayStation, I wouldn't not recommend it. I think you probably nail it on the head, Luke. As someone, if you've got both, then that probably is it. And I've seen that. No, do you know, that definitely is it. That definitely is it. I've seen multiple people with Xboxes saying, do you know what? Smart Resume is genuinely a next gen game changer. Is it Smart Resume, Quick Resume, whatever it's called? The Xbox just pick up and jump into a game that you've shelved 4 weeks ago. Quick Resume and Smart Delivery, I think, are the words. If not, there's something of that variety, which are nice, usable, functional stuff. I don't really get anything with my PlayStation 5 experience that I didn't have on the PS4. So I wouldn't not recommend it. I'd say, yeah, it's good, definitely. There's nothing that fully is PS5-ish yet, apart from the controller. But that's kind of irrelevant when I play my PS5 using this, which is a PS4 scuff controller. So yeah, great, not getting the next gen out of that either. So yeah, PlayStation players aren't really recommending PS5, whereas Xbox players definitely are, and that's not because of fanboys, and that's just because of it is what it is. It is what it is. I probably worded that wrong. More of a don't expect too much from it right now. No, I get what you meant. I do get what you mean. Quick Resume is absolutely insane. It is. I mean, PlayStation has the game switcher thing, which I assumed was going to be Quick Resume. It's not. It's just that this was the last one that you played. Do you want to load it up afresh? It's like, okay. So I'll go to that button apart from the big, not the big tile that shows me the game that I last played. Okay. On a subject of cool-looking games, this came out overnight in the PlayStation Store. Looks awesome. It rated T for teen. Let me hit the video. Let me see what we're looking at. Narita Boy announcement trailer for the Nintendo Switch. Obviously, on the Switch previously. Coming out to the PlayStation. Let's. Okay, already a fan of the design style. Oh, Team 17. Okay, I'm already bought in. This looks cool. Is that a dude with a mustache? Look at the mustache, man. Okay, yeah, that looks cool. Have you played this before, or has it just caught your eyes, Madge? What are you saying? Is it something you've been following? Is it something you've been looking forward to? Anyway, on the note of that, while Madge responds to that, I will jump into our last news article of the day, and maybe something that you guys can get involved with. No spawn or anything, but Xbox are running competition that you guys can get involved with. Sometimes we tell you when there's free stuff. Sometimes we tell you when there's stuff that might be cool, that might catch your attention. But Tom Ivan at VGC has something that might do exactly that. Microsoft reveals extremely limited edition Xbox joins Bethesda controller set. Company will give away 7 controllers themed around Bethesda games. So Microsoft is set to give away a highly limited edition set of Xbox controllers to commemorate its acquisition of Bethesda. The set includes controllers themed around Bethesda titles Dishonored, Prey, Doom, Fallout, The Evil Within, The Elder Scrolls Online, and Wolfenstein. The controllers come in a chest adorned with the Bethesda and Xbox Game Pass logos and have an approximate retail value of $399, according to Microsoft. Aaron Greenberg, general manager of Xbox Games Marketing at Microsoft, said the Xbox Twitter account will soon reveal details about how to be in with a chance of winning the limited edition peripherals. At this time, there's no indication that the controllers will be made available to purchase. And then update, 10:40 p.m. UK last night, I believe. To enter the prize sweepstake, users must follow the official Xbox Twitter account, retweet the following promotional post, and include the hashtag Xbox Bethesda sweepstakes. So there you go. That's how you can get involved. I will drop a link to that in the chat in just a momento. But back to the original story. So this is Aaron Greenberg's tweet. We're giving away this extremely limited edition Bethesda joins Xbox collection to a lucky fan. Don't miss the details tomorrow on the Xbox Twitter handle. Hashtag Bethesda joins Xbox. There you go. It's showing you all of the different controllers. Microsoft announced on actually, we don't need to know. We all know Microsoft has acquired Bethesda. It has been approved, and it will continue to move forward. But do you know what? It'd be nice for you guys. So here's the link to the article, and the tweet itself is within that. It's embedded within there. So if you want to go bag yourself some Xbox stuff, either just look up Xbox's official accounts on Twitter and get involved that way, or you can just drop in through the tweet linked within the article. Mortal Freak 21, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? How is your Tuesday going? You've got sun where you are? We've got sun here. It looks nice. Appreciate the follow. Appreciate it. It's basically Tron. Never played or heard. Literally brand new via the store trailer. It looks good. It looks good. And very Tronish. I see that too. Lake says Fallout controller, please. Okay. Which one do we think looks the best? Quick takes. So, Wolfenstein looks too plain for me, so that can go. Is that Dishonored? That looks kind of cool, but I'm not a fan of two-tone controllers, so that can go. Do you know, Fallout is cool. I'd probably go Evil Within if I'm being honest, maybe. Although it does look very PlayStation with the grey, so I don't know. Yeah, maybe Evil Within for me. What would you guys go for? It was kickstarted a few years ago. I'm back at number 24. Hey, before Team 17 picked it up for publishing. Looks very cool. Probably more style than substance, but that's okay. Well, that's kind of excuse me. That's kind of what you're opting in for an indie game, though, aren't you? Really, it's more often than not is style over substance. You're choosing an art style and hoping that the devs can give you the substance that doesn't jar with the style. And that's probably a harsh way to describe indie gaming. I know it probably is. Some indie games are exceptional. A lot of indie developers do build for the substance, absolutely. But quite often, they're limited resources in terms of they go for the style or the substance. Quite often, you can't get both. You either go for quality or value, effectively, and you get it's the trade off. So often you don't get both. But yeah, as long as you got a game that just has enough substance to keep the style, then it's good. So GG's on being a backer as well. Nice. Already retweeted. Hey, there you go. Like, get involved. If you win some, then let us know. Win them all, should I say? Then let us know. Wolfenstein looks absolutely zero like Wolfenstein. I mean, it's kind of like key art and colors, so I can see that. But it's just a bit too plain for me. It's just a bit too minimal. Plum Rico, hey, welcome in. I'm late to the party, but hello everyone. Hello.
Welcome in. Good morning. Mortal Freak says, well, my day's going fine. I hope yours is too. Well, it is, because you were here and you just dropped a follow on Twitch. You can drop a follow on Twitter. But thank you very much. No, it's good. Thank you very much, dude. Appreciate you being here. So for Mortal Freak and anyone else that may have not been around, we do go live 5 times a week, at least with the scoop, 10 a.m.-ish, Monday to Friday, but then we do have additional content around that. So if you haven't already, think about hitting follow, like Mortal Freak has done, like Cool John has done, and like, I'm going to mention it again, Time for a Bong has done, and Scuds TV, who got absolutely robbed of the animation popping up on the screen. Appreciate you, though. Thank you, guys. Xbox kill it with the controller designs. I'm not really into those designs, but I bet so many love them. No, I do agree. Like with Scuff as an example, I have a very minimal Scuff controller design. Black, red, Bosch, and that was kind of designed. I say designed. That the design was out of my hands. That was from some work that we did with the Scuff guys around something around United. So basically, black and red United colours, Bosch, and I'm happy with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Even though I'm a United fan, I would never really choose a vibrant colour, a primary colour. Like, is it primary colours? Is that what it's called? Is that what they call? I don't know enough about colouring, but I wouldn't usually go for red. I'd usually go for something a bit more minimal, plain shades rather than colours. So that's probably explaining why I'd go for the wolf, not the Wolfenstein, the Evil Within controller in the middle. Wait, what is that one? What is that one there? I can't place that one. Well, let's see what the brands were. Is that some? That's Doom? Okay, which one do we... Is that Elder Scrolls? Is that what that is? I'm going to assume Elder Scrolls. I don't know. I'm going to assume Elder Scrolls. If it is Elder Scrolls, because it's grey, but that's just a bit too intense for me, the colouring on the edge, whereas the barbed wire is less so much, but then you've got the blood splatter, which is... So, yeah. The collection is good. I probably wouldn't choose any individual one of those designs, though, so that's probably a bit... I'm too much of an old man to appreciate, probably. Ella Pumrico, hey, everyone sharing the love. Not sure any of those controllers are my thing. If I had an Xbox, I mean, the absolute Xbox Game Pass crate, though, that would be full on just sat there with my Bethesda helmet. Hey, it's my Doomslayer helmet. Nice shout out to Xbox for giving me that before you were a thing. Nice. Well, you were a thing, you weren't. You know what I mean. Anyway, my dog would like to eat them as my controllers are his current toy of choice. Oh, heartbreak. Is that an actual thing? Has your dog been eating your controllers? Imagine that feeling where you just want to sit down, long day of work, and you just want to pick up your Xbox controller, just have a couple of games on your Bethesda game of choice or other games, and then you've just got no thumbstick. I'd just be absolutely heartbroken. I mean, you'd still give it a go. Even if the thumbstick was gone and you were just left with a nubbin, you'd still be there with, like, finger on the end of it kind of thing like that, trying to But yeah, heartbreak. It's chewed off the thumbstick covers on 3 controllers. That's when you sell the dog. I know you're a member of the family, but get out of here, dog. Get out of here. I know. Yeah, you can't do that. But still, you'd think it for a brief second, a fleeting second, maybe more. Yeah, heartbreak. But anyway, we'll end it on that heartbreak. I was going to come out with some sort of like almost Jeremy Clarkson Top Gear-esque sort of Stig closing thing, but I just didn't have the brain capacity to link a dog and finishing the show. I was going to say, anyway, the dogs of time to come to chew on the controller of the scoop or something like that. And I thought, actually, no, doesn't quite work. Let's leave it. But I told you anyway, so there you go. I might as well just come with it. Anyway, we will disappear. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for the scoop. I say us, me, today, because there is no Baby. Baby is off for the rest of the week. He's playing golf. His son in Manchester. Baby's got a week off, so he's playing golf. So we won't have him on the scoop for the rest of the week. But you guys potentially could join. If you want to jump in for some scoopy fun times, then do let me know. You can jump into our Discord. We do have a section called The Scoop. That is where you guys share the news with us each and every single day, and we appreciate you massively for that. If you want to influence the news, you can shape the show is the way Bibby says it now. Nice. You can shape the show by giving the stories to us in Discord. But if you want to shape the show a bit more drastically, then we do have 3 more. Actually, what minute? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We have 2 more scoops left this week because Friday is bank holiday. There will be no scoop then. So if you want to be on tomorrow's or Thursday's scoop, then maybe we can make it happen. So if you want to, all you need to have is 3 things: a camera, a microphone, and your opinions. That's all you need. You don't have to be right. You don't have to be wrong. Whatever. It's opinions. Your opinion is right for you. That's all we need to know. So if you want to get involved, then please feel free to let us know on the Discord. !Discord in the chat does give you that link, as Gary has done already. If you don't want to get in the Discord though, but you do want to shape the show, then you can share stories with us across all social media. All we need from you is a link to the story and your thoughts and impressions, and then I can give you my thoughts and impressions the very next show, which will be at 10 a.m.-ish tomorrow, 10 a.m.-ish tomorrow, and then Thursday, and then we're done for the week. So thank you all for being here. We appreciate you being in the house. Had to put new rubber covers on them, says Puerto Rico, and about the controller sticks. On that bombshell. There you go. On that bombshell. Some say, naturally, shape the show, TM baby. Exactly. Shape the show. Anyway, enough. I'm waffling. Thank you all. Appreciate you being here. What we are going to do, though, to treat someone else to a little bit of a fun time raid, we're going to find a friend of the channel to drop a raid on. If you want to stick around with the raid, you get yourself a few extra channel points, and you get to show someone some love on a Tuesday, which is probably the better thing. But we also get channel points, which is kind of, big things. So yeah, if you want to stick around for the raid, we will drop the raid at someone else. You get some channel points, and we'll see you all 10 a.m.-ish in the morning for the next show. Until then, have yourselves a fantastic day. We love you lots, and stay frosty.